Good afternoon and welcome to today's video tutorial. Today we're going to look at variables. What is variable? What do they do? Variables are container for storing any information. For instance, now I have like something like 10 here. Okay, I have another one 20. These are information. Now I decide to echo this. So let us echo this. Okay, this is 20 and 10. If I break it now, so let me just even echo the one. So you see, I echo 20. You see what happened? This is an information. This information can be the number of students. This can be the price of the product. Now, what the variable does is this information are stored in computer memory with the name variable. So anytime you want to call this 20, instead of how plenty how codes is, there are plenty, there are many. I don't think that you can remember 10, 20, 40. So that is why variable become necessary. So what the variable does is, instead of you remember, number of student 20, number of okra 50, number of child bed 30, you can't remember that. So you store this information in variable, so that anytime you want to use this information again, you call the name of that variable. You call the variable, sorry. So you call the variable and the information is given unto you. Now, for instance, now let me say, okay, I have a student passed. That is the number of students that passed. Student passed. So to be equal to 1,000. Anytime I don't need to store this one. Sorry. Once this one is stored as the number of students that pass, so anytime I want to use this, I will go and bring this variable. So from your memory computer, bring this number of students that pass for me. Now what I'm going to do now is this student that pass, echo, show it now. I will call the variable. So it store this information about the student that pass, the number of students that pass. In the same way, I can still say student that failed. Student that failed. You cannot see. So I now store the information like 10 students that failed. So now, this information, this is the information about the student that failed. 10 students failed. So this is what 1,000 students passed. This is the information about the student. So this is what the variable does. Storing an information like this is what you have. When we refer to variable as the container to store for the storing of an information. So you can see exactly what happened here. So that is what the variable does. It's used for the storing of an information. So we can echo this one now. So once you echo this one, so let's see what happened. You see 1,000 students pass. So you can even come here and say, okay, 1,000 students pass. So now, this is how it happened. Now, this variable has a rules in naming variable. It has a rule in naming variable. You don't just name variable. Now, if variable must not start with a number, you don't start number with number. For instance, if I put 1 here, say okay, let me tell you something. When you are declaring variable in PHP, you start with $, then the name of the variable, then the information equal to the information. Now, see what happened now. So if I want to name a variable now, say okay, student one, student variable one student. Maybe because it's a student, just one student. So I now say okay, I'll put one there to be equal to one student. So let's see what happened. So it will not accept it because the variable will never start with what? Um will never start with um will never start with number. So it will never work. So until I remove it, that thing will not. So you can see as I immediately not even two. If you use two now, it will still do the same thing. Not as long as it is number, it will never work. Now, variable can start with underscore. So for instance, I can underscore this one. I can underscore this one. So you can see I can underscore this one. So and I still call the same variable. So variable can start with underscore. Variable can be alphanumeric. For instance, now okay. Now alphanumeric. For instance, I can call this variable as okay. And student number one. So number one equal to 10. You can see. So it can be alphanumeric. It's not giving us any error. It can be alphanumeric, but it must not start with the numeric. It must not start with it. So these are rules in naming variable. Don't start variable with with number. Don't um, then the variable can be alphanumeric. Then variable can start with underscore, and it even can contain underscore within the word. Now, variable is case sensitive. Variable is very case sensitive. Now, let me give you this example. I have this example here. It's okay. This is a variable x to be equal to 50. Now, I want to call this variable. Now, I want to call this one, this x. Now, it's okay. Variable capital X. Call it's okay. And now, it's okay. Echo this variable for me. You know, this variable I declare here is a small letter. The name is a small letter. Now I'm going to call this variable now and I use capital letter. It will not. It's case sensitive. So it must go with the variable the way you declare. You see, it's throwing an error that this one is undefined because this one I define, this variable is small letter s. So if I give it uh, uh, if I give it um, if I want to use it now and I'm going to echo capital S, so it will not work. Variable is very, very case sensitive. This one, let me show you something. Variable color is not the same thing as a variable color. These two things are not the same. This is capital letter, this is small letter. It is very, very case sensitive. Now, the last before you go, you can concatenate variables. You can output variable. Like what happened here now. Let me echo this variable student one. Echo, I can output it. I can output variable. Now let me echo student one. We have been outputting variable. Let's see, but let's see this one. So you can now see. So I have output this student. Let me see. I want to hide this one. So you can output variable. You can output variable. See, you can see I can output variable. I can show echo variable. Now, lastly, before we go, I can still concatenate variable. I can concatenate variable. So what I mean is this. Okay, now it's okay. Echo um the number of sorry of student or the number of students. Now, so what is concatenation? I use uh, my dot, then call this variable, then this variable. So I am concatenating this variable with the letter, so with the string. So now So let remove this one. So let's see, because I'm concatenating this variable now. So when you are joined variable with either with string or with a number or integer, so with this one, this is what we call this is the sign of concatenation. You are concatenating it. You are joining. You are making it one line. You are making it a single statement. So let us see what happens. So you can now see the number of students are what? Are 10. So because of this 10, so I now concatenate it and make it a single line. Now, that is how it works. You can concatenate it. You output um, a variable. So that is the whole thing about variable. Variable help us a lot. Without variable, there won't be programming, because you can't remember. I can't remember the number of students that passed. Then I put it again in my head, the number of students that failed. Then I now say, okay, the number of students. You are dealing with the whole programming is all about storing an information, and this information are in thousands. So how are you going to remember them if not put them in a variable? So by the time you put them in variable, so anytime you want to use them, so you use them. So that is the whole thing about variable. Thank you for watching our um, tutorial. This is the tutorial. This is PHP for just purely for beginners. So that is why we take time to explain what it is. Thank you, and God bless you.